What it do, surprise Shawty crew? So I don't know what the weather is doing. It's been raining all of April so far, but today it was raining and like cold. Like it's cool outside today. But I wanted to share this with y'all because this is something that I'm having to be extremely mindful of, and I've been asking and praying and like, God, is it gonna always be like this with me? Because it's something that I don't particularly care for. I don't like that I'm like this, but just trying to navigate and figure out like, okay, this happens either way. How do I like deal with that, right? So at this point, y'all gotta be wondering what I'm talking about. I realized in March, so I had broke out in hives, and I told my parents like, hey, yo, I think I break out in hives, whether good or bad. Like if I'm overwhelmed, I'm breaking out in hives. Mind y'all, I've been working out. So it was very upsetting for me because it's like I'm doing that. Like I'm doing good with my diet. I'm working out so I can like burn all this extra energy and like release some of this stuff that I might be holding on to internally. Why am I still breaking out in hives? And both my parents was like, yeah, like you can break out in hives because you're overwhelmed in a good way too. And I was like, God, really? So I had already journaled though, January the 16th. How crazy is that? Overwhelmed and excited in a win, or overwhelmed with warfare towards a win. And one of the things I keep picking up on right now is the enemy isn't fighting you because of where you are, because of where you're going. Like 2 or 3 people have said that. And I'm like, okay. And so even though you know you're on your way to a breakthrough, you don't know you're on your way to a breakthrough, your spirit can know that. And so I feel very overwhelmed, and I will break out in hives, y'all, like physically break out in hives. Like my body just be like, no. If it's a situation where you need to cast your cares onto him, or your burdens, or the feelings of overwhelmingness, and it's negative, know to do that, right? Like I'm pretty okay with doing that now. Like I know what I need to do because I'm feeling overwhelmed. Sometimes it takes some time, sometimes it doesn't. And then what do I do if I'm just like excited nerves, God, or anxious and I'm overwhelmed because it's like, oh my God, like that's what it's been lately. And why am I still breaking out in hives? Like, what do you do with that? And I think that's part of getting used to soaring at elevated levels, because it is new, it is uncharted territories, it is your dreams coming true. It is like, whoa, I used to pray for this, I'm overwhelmed, what do I do? And realizing that regardless, you gotta cling to him, or else you're not gonna know what to do. You're gonna be overwhelmed by all of the goodness, truly, right? So I also wrote, remember, January the 16th, high or low, we still have to focus, cover, and protect. Not just when warfare, it feels like a lot of warfare. Like I'm getting to a point now to where like something good happened, and it's like, hold on, let me buckle down, let me focus, right? Because one, I don't want to mess up what he just did, right? And then Ben Peeps, like, nah, every time I have a mama we made it moment, the enemy try to sucker punch me, right? Don't get swept up in the highs or the lows, but adjust accordingly. He, the enemy, is waiting for us to be distracted, whether good or bad. The enemy is weak and a coward, so he waits for an opportunity to strike when you're not paying attention. So you have to focus, whether high or low. Now, this is something that I added to the notes the other day. So this wasn't January the 16th. So when it said don't get swept up in the highs or the lows, but adjust accordingly, stay aligned with his will and your assignment, no matter if just worried, stressed, doubtful about it, or you're excited, you really like, oh my gosh, I get it. You're having life-changing revelation, which I have been having. No matter what, stay aligned with his will and your assignment. And y'all want to know something crazy? The other day, I was actually kind of frustrated. And in my prayer, I was like, you know what? I don't even have a will. Like, and I started laughing, and I was like, because whatever you're trying to do, that's what we doing. Like, I don't even have a will. Why that night did I dream I was speaking in tongues so strongly that I fell out? I was like, oh, something just happened. Something definitely just happened, right? And ever since that night, my dreams and stuff been on like 10, life-changing revelation. I'm like, yes, because I surrendered. Like, I remember saying that even though I was irritated in the prayer, like, I don't even got a will. Like, I don't. Let your will be done. And that's still surrender, okay? So stay aligned with his will and your assignment. When I was like walking around meditating this morning, I was like, I don't know, it just get real hard like when it don't make sense. It don't make sense to me. That don't mean it don't make sense to God. His ways aren't our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. It's higher than ours. So we'll be like, that don't even make sense. It don't make sense to us. It makes sense to him. He's Alpha and Omega, because the way he been making things shake out for me lately is like, this whole time you planned on doing that? So if I can see that in other areas, why wouldn't I be able to believe that in other areas? You get what I'm saying? Which brings me to my last point. We do not lose. Now, I wrote that January the 16th, but I added to it the other day. A lesson isn't a low. So if you feel like you're in a place where, oh, I'm getting it wrong, or oh, I got it wrong, and now you just depressed and down and out, that's a mindset thing. You have to change your mindset and your perspective. A lesson isn't a low. That's a mindset thing. In a season, you may not perceive whatever it is you're going through as a prolonged experience. Remember what we said the other day? Like, experience is something that you get after you needed it. But you may not perceive a prolonged experience leading to great lessons. You may not perceive it as that. We don't lose. So it's just a lesson. Because if I'm honest with y'all about where I am right now, ain't no way in the world you could have told me the hell I was going through in 2019 was setting it up for this position. You couldn't have told me that, because in 2019, I just thought my life was over. I just thought God hated me. I thought I was not supposed to be out there. No, it was lessons. So you know how to move, and I promote you and position you where I want to position you, daughter. But you couldn't have told me that in 2019. Like, absolutely not. So again, if I can see that in that area of my life, why would I not be able to see that in the other areas? So even if it is a thing where you thought it was going to play out like this, you thought he meant this, you thought it was going to be this, and then you find out like, whoa, that is not what we were doing. I promise y'all, whatever it is that he is doing, when you surrender, it's going to be way better than what you thought. Way better. No, the pain was not fun. No, the process was not fun. But oh my gosh, you had all that in store for me this whole time. I just needed you to trust me, even when it hurt. Even when it hurt. I don't know who needed that, but you still gotta trust him. I promise y'all, it's gonna be way better than what you could have ever hoped for or imagined. I promise you. I don't care what it is we're talking about, okay? So whether you are overwhelmed with a low, overwhelmed because you're headed towards a win, overwhelmed with the warfare, whatever, you stay focused, you stay aligned with his will and your assignment, and remember that we don't lose. So take the time to be able to find God in all of it, because you can find God in all of it. I promise you that you can. All right, so I love y'all. I'll see y'all in the next video.